On page 3, setting proper motivation with three points. Refuge fields, visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all Buddhist Bodhisattvas in his space in front of us as so loving, caring, embracing. And Arya Nagarjuna, the author whose text we are studying. And for the Buddha field, visualize the two kind parents and all the family members, including children, and all demon sentient beings living on the side. And the purpose of this practice is to awaken the Buddha energy within us, see to perfection within us, by removing the mental deaths, the Buddha Shakyamuni, and also Acharya Nagarjuna, the student of Arya Nagarjuna, very clearly indicated that Buddhahood is not bestowed upon us by anybody, nor the course of the Buddhahood is held by anyone for us. It is through discovering the Buddha energy within us that we become enlightened. So, this being the case, our job is just remove the mental defilements from within and let the Buddha nature, the treasure inside us, to manifest. And for this, there's no difference between anyone. Everybody has the same potential. Whether you're educated, uneducated, wealthy, poor, this group, that group, this ethnicity, that ethnicity, that religion, no difference. Everyone who's ever puts effort to remove the mental defilements, afflictive obscurations, cognitive obscurations, these people will succeed in achieving what they aspire for. So with this in mind, imagine that you are leading this recitation, all beings are joining us. Meanwhile, let us make sure not to miss to reflect on meanings as we read the words. And through your great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And through your great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And through your great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. I go for refuge and turn enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice, giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit sentient beings. I go for refuge and turn enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice, giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit sentient beings. I go for refuge and turn enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanye Jula Zoge Jonam Lai Janju Bardo Dane Yabzush Age Jinso Gebe Zonam Ye Dola Benjere Sanye Dubarejo Sanye Jula Zoge Jonam Lai Janju Bardo Dane Yabzush Age Jinso Gebe Zonam Allah Benjere Sanye Dubarejo Sanye Jula Doi Janchu Bado Dane Yabzuji Dage Jinso Yebe Zonami Dola Benjere Sanye Dubarejo. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no rising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme of all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all lead here is seeking pacification, complete peace, which through knowledge of paths, courses of helping margaritas of the chief aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subdue and expand a variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by ultimate benefits sentient beings, the teacher, Sugata, and protector to your restorations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines for the forever noble light rays, to you the Buddha make restorations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I chant the mantra full awakening for the benefit of sentient beings. Om ye dharma hetu prabha Desham dathagato hyavatat Desham chayo nirodham Evam bhati mahashramana yesva Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam Hetum tesham nathagato hyavatat Tesham jayo nirodha Evam bhati mahashramana yesva Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam Hetum desham dathagato hyavatat Desham jayo nirodha Evam bhati mahashramana yesva All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation causes as well as taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite. Such is the nectar that Dharma have discovered, finding no one who to fathom this teaching in silent self-sounded words. Beyond utterance, thought and expression is a perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. Is object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas, of the 3 times, I bear obeisance, the 4 seals of the Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent, all contaminated things are suffering. All phenomena nature, emptiness, selflessness, transcendent sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dhamma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings from miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expansive billions of eons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered miseries gloom. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Okay, now yesterday we were talking about the ultimate and the 2 analysis, conventional analysis and ultimate analysis. And what we also said, we said something which is very important, is that that when we look at things, invariable things appear as object real. And statement number 1, when we look at things invariably appear as object real, be it in the waking state or in the dream. 24 hours, things appear as object real. And even the people with the deep samadhi meaning that they go deep into their meditative experience, they go to experience something so deep inside. Even the depth of the experience appears object real. Let's not forget it. This is a very important statement. Why I'm saying this as a people, they were too naive to say that somebody stays isolated, and then if the person succeeds in staying isolated, we say that he's enlightened, she's Buddha, right? This is too naive, because there are so many layers, there's so many levels there. And say, for example, the Buddha's own 2 teachers, if they are today, if they're with us today, no doubt everybody will take to them as Buddhas. But the Prince Siddhartha identified that they are not Buddhas. Prince Siddhartha was not, say for the first teacher, Acharya Nagarjuna, the first teacher. Say, if you were to see him, see his meditative experience, no doubt we'll say that he's the full awakened one. But Prince Siddhartha, learn from him. And the Prince Siddhartha attained the same level as his teacher, asked for more teachings. And the teacher said, you got everything. You've already attained everything. And Prince Siddhartha said, no, I came here to look for a solution, to help all these sentient beings. Still, I could not find this. So, what we see as Buddha is not actually Buddha, Acharya Nagarjuna. Then the Buddha, the Prince Siddhartha, sought the help of the second teacher, Acharya Uddhika, whose meditative experience is even higher than that. We talked about the three realms of samsara. What are three realms? Anyone? What three realms? Desire realm, form realm, and formless realm. Three. So how these three are put in this particular order is in ways of the evolution of the advancement of the meditative experience. It's not about emptiness, nothing to do with emptiness, nothing to do with the wisdom. It's all about the meditative stability practice. Where the stability practice is least, we are in desire realm, where we are now. Where the stability practice is better, is the form realm. And then from there, and the even better, formless. Within formless, again there are 4 levels. Again there are 4, and then you can further divide this into more. So the point is that the true teachers of the Buddha, Acharya Nagarjuna and Acharya Uddhika, both of them, if they were to be here with us today, the whole world will see them as Buddhas. But Prince Siddhartha, he recognized that the two are still not Buddhas. So the Prince Siddhartha asked for more teachings, even with the second teacher. After reaching the same level as the teacher, and asked for more teachings, the teacher categorically said that you have attained the highest enlightenment. And all my teachers say, all my students are your students. Lead them and stay here. And the Prince Siddhartha, they realized that still I've not found the solution to all the beings. So he left. So what I'm saying is that we really need to have a finer understanding, more nuanced way of seeing things. For example, when we don't have the proper eyes to appreciate the paintings, most likely that the very colorful painting of mine and the painting of Leonardo da Vinci, right? Antonelli, Leonardo da Vinci, right? So these two paintings, if many of us, if I show you which of the paintings is better, you may say mine painting is better. It's very colorful. Whereas those people who have the eyes to see, there's no comparison between these two. Just discard this painting. What is this colorful thing? Just discard this. The other one is just exotic. There's no comparison. You getting it? So only you need to have the eyes to see that. So likewise, with the spiritual realizations, simply because somebody is in meditative for so long doesn't mean that the person's enlightened. It has so many layers. So for example, one is the element of samadhi, single-pointedness. One is the element of the cognitive, the penetration of the reality. Wisdom, emptiness is so profound. One is the expansive compassion. They're all different meditative techniques, where some people just focus on single-point meditation, that's it. And these people, when you meet with them, you can feel that you are inferior. This person is so evolved. But you will not feel that the affinity Meaning that you don't feel like the flow is not happening from your side. Whereas you be with His Holiness the Dalai Lama, you see that instant your mind flows with him, flows towards him because of compassion. So single point of meditation does not guarantee your compassion. You're getting it? So therefore, simply by where compassion is missing, Buddhahood is far away. Buddhahood is a state where there's a perfection of love and affection. Don't forget it. There's a perfection of knowledge. When the knowledge is missing, single point meditation doesn't guarantee knowledge. You getting it? If you don't believe in me, say single point meditation doesn't guarantee your knowledge of quantum mechanics. You're getting it? Single pointed doesn't mean that even if you're very advanced, like Acharya Udriga, doesn't mean that you can become a Nobel laureate in physics. You cannot. So if you want to become a Nobel laureate in physics, you have to study physics. This knowledge is very different from samadhi. You getting it? So we need all. We need the wisdom to know the direction where you're going. We need the compassion. We need the compassion to make sure that this knowledge is useful for all sentient beings. We need the stability to make sure that these two experiences are stable. And we need the sophistication of your mind. Sophistication, you will not get a clue what I'm saying. Sophistication of the mind, extremely sophisticated. And that is required for you to be extremely effective in benefiting the sentient beings. So all these have different, they say the fabrics. So we need to have all these things collectively, not just one. Okay, with this in mind, this wisdom is extremely important. And if you get a glimpse of what this wisdom is, what this emptiness is like, and of course, even the experience of emptiness has so many layers. Last time I did mention about the 5 levels of selflessness. What are they? You remember? Or did I did this time or in the early retreats? This time. I see. As well, like many of you, there's a blank face on you. Did you say this before? Okay. So what is the 5? Okay, I'm expecting those people who are not expert. I know that there are some experts here. Hey, anyone, quick. Huh? Quick? What is 5 levels of selflessness? Huh? Okay, the first one is permanent unity, independent self. Right? Okay. Number 2 is autonomous substantial reality. Then number 3, on external reality. Wow. Okay. So I said that what is good? You are saying bad. Bad is good. Right? What is the selflessness? You are saying autonomous substantial reality. This is not selflessness. It's the opposite of selflessness. What are the 5 levels of selflessness? The first one. Lobsang Yenzhen. Yes. What's first? Very good. Selfless is permanent, unitary, independent self. Number 2, quick. Hey, Jamila. Yes. Number 2. Huh? You don't have the note. Okay. Anyone else? Autonomous substantial reality. Okay. What is good is bad? Oh, selfless and autonomous substantial reality. What is 3? Selfless external reality. What is 4? Sapna. What is 4? While not rejecting objective / inherent / intrinsic existence. Ajadwala, what is the 5th one? Okay, anyone else? 5th one. Fifth one, quick. Yes, John. Very good. Thank you, John. Okay, so we need to, from this we see that even the selfless has many levels. And what is the subtlest of these five? Number fifth. This is the subtlest one. The selflessness of autonomous substantial reality. No, selflessness of objective existence. Objective / inherent / intrinsic existence. Good. Even this, even the fifth one, some people, they go to these studies, they study for long, and they think that they get it. They get it. And yet, what they do is very different from what they think they got. If you do something different from this, the emptiness of objective existence, if you don't really focus too much on this, which means that you have not understood it. If you understood this, you will see that this is the meaning of life. And if you don't focus on this part, which means that you have really don't understood it, you are yet to understand it. So therefore, our job is, oh yeah, I'm not really too fascinated by this. Something is wrong with me, right? Because my mind is directed to something else, not really towards this, more into like single point meditation, observing the senses, observing the breath, or do some visualization, right? And where am I going wrong? So he said that you have not understood it. So what is it, that thing that I'm yet to understand it? So for this, the point is that the many people who read Arya Nagarjuna's philosophy like this and say that they make conclusions. So you are somebody like that person. That person just recently in Tusamling, when I was conducting the, not this, but the Buddhist retreat there, we talk about emptiness. There was a young man from philosophy background, Western philosophy background, and he said that, oh, what Arya Nagarjuna said is idealistic. So the point is that the Arya Nagarjuna philosophy is very different. Say, David Hume's philosophy is very different. Descartes, Hildegard, and then the John Locke, and so forth. Their philosophy is like, they just reject somebody else's position, they come up with their own position. Rejected by somebody else, again come with some position. But Arya Nagarjuna philosophy is something which is cumulative, developed. Cumulative. It gives the deeper you go, the more you can penetrate. You can more find. You can see things there. And if you are not fascinated by this, you have not understood it. So we are very unfortunate. So the job is, if you really want to be liberated from samsara, forget about Buddhahood, let alone Buddhahood. Even just to attain nirvana, liberation from samsara, you want to shed tears of samsara. If we are not fascinated by this, after studying this for so many years, you have not understood it. So this, even the glimpse of this should give us the tickling sensations of body, goosebumps in the body. See, that is so profound. It's very different from the tickling sensations that you get out of the single part of meditation. These are very different. So these are things that we need to remember. Finally, why I'm emphasizing so much on this part is that finally we want to stop the tears of samsara. And tears of samsara will never stop if we don't get this emptiness, this reality. It's not about tradition. It's not about tradition. It's about our well-being. For you, for me, for all of us. If you want to stop the tears of samsara, this is the way. If we don't get this, even the bodhicitta alone will not stop the tears. Single point of meditation will not stop the tears. Our tears will continue till this wisdom of emptiness, till we wake up from the sleep of ignorance. The tears of the dream will continue. So therefore, this is so important. If there's no sense of appreciation coming to the, wow, this is amazing. If this sense is not coming to us, we have to study more. We have to practice more. We have to have more discussions. Pray to the Buddha. Pray to Arya Nagarjuna. Please bless me to experience. Bless me that I get a genuine experience of this. And meanwhile, don't just stay there. Keep putting effort. This is so important. Otherwise, our tears will never stop. Okay. So with this in mind, yesterday where we left was number one about the ultimate analysis and convention analysis, saying that the same object can be seen in two different ways, from distance and from close by. From distance, what we see is here the flower. From close by, what we see is no flower. Close by meaning objectively. Distance means subjectively, right? Which of the two, close by, distance, which of the two correlates more with subjective? Which of the two correlates more with objective? Tell me, distance and nearby. On the one hand, I use the words distance and nearby. On the other hand, I use the words subjective and objective. Just if you are to match, how would you match the two sets? Hey, quick. Yes. Subjective with distance. Very good. And objective with close by. You getting it? Very good. Okay. So what we said is that say that the same object can be seen in two ways. One from distance, that is subjective, is also known as conventional analysis. So one is seen by close meaning objective, right? And objectively what exists? We say, how many things here do you have? You don't tell me everything. I have this. You don't say everything. Some of you can keep confidential. But of these things, how many things are objectively real? Tell me. Of the things that you have, how many things are expensive? How many things are not expensive? Tell me. Hey, nothing is expensive. Are you sure? Huh? Some expensive, some don't tell me which are these some expensive ones, right? These are things. Hey, this girl is missing. Ipshita, right? Who locked the door without? Oh, not Ipshita. It's Jigmela. Who locked the door, knowing that there's nothing in the house, right? Ipshita also, right? She locked the safe, knowing that there's nothing in it. Okay, so what I'm saying is that of these things, just as we said, oh, there are a few things which I really need to put in the safe. Few things, okay, if somebody steals, is fine. Likewise, amongst the things that you possess, how many things are object real and how many things are subject real? Tell me. Huh? Hey, what happened? Yes. Huh? Okay, after studying the last 2 days. Anyone else? Quick. How many things object real? Yes.
Everything seems objectively real, but is empty of objective reality when subjected to ultimate analysis.
Okay, nothing is objectively real. This is what he's saying. Although they appear objectively real, but nothing is objectively real. Your name?
Bunny.
Okay, how many agree with Bunny? Raise hands. Nothing exists objectively. So in my house, in my safe, even in the safe, nothing is objectively real. Okay, good. So what we said is that, say, the same object can be seen close by, can be seen from distance. The mind which sees the same object from distance is known as conventional analysis, right? Okay. And the mind which looks at the same object from close by is known as Ultimate analysis. So this ultimate analysis look at the object, look at this flower to see if it does exist objective from the object. And the conventional analysis look at the object to see if the object exists from this subject. You getting it? Same, the ultimate analysis looks at this object to see if it exists objectively, right? And what exists objectively? Nothing exists objectively, including the flower. So, with ultimate analysis, you say that the flower is empty. So, when you say flower is empty, empty with respect to ultimate analysis. You're getting it? So, the flower exists with respect to conventional analysis. So when we say the flower exists or not exists, that should be decided by the conventional analysis. Okay, is there anybody from biology background? What subject you take? Okay, good. So let's say that I want to decide something about, I'm so curious to learn about genetics, right? And then I meet Ipshita, right? And Ipshita, two of us have a little bit of discussion, and I say, let's ask someone, expert, right? So, who? Oh, I know that Albert Einstein, a very famous scientist. We'll ask him. Is it correct? You'll be happy? Which means you are too naive. Still naive, no, still the same. We are going to ask Messi.
No.
Why not?
He is a football player.
Yes, his area is very different. His area is very different, right? So he has nothing to do with genetics. Einstein has nothing to do with genetics. He is about the electrons, protons, neutrons, E's, MC squared, and so forth, nothing to do with genetics. Einstein. Okay. So we'll not ask Einstein, right? We'll not ask him. Why? His area of expertise and what we are talking about, these are very different areas. How many of you understood what we are saying? What if Shita and two of us are saying? How many agree? Good. So therefore, say, whether this is a flower or not, don't ask the ultimate analysis. Whether this is a flower or not, don't ask ultimate analysis, because this is not the area of ultimate analysis and the area. If you want to know whether this is a flower or not, which of the two analysis should we ask? Conventional analysis, because this is his area. You're getting it? Okay. So, whether or not the flower exists objectively or subjectively, should we ask ultimate conventional analysis? Hey, to whom should we ask? Ultimate analysis. So if the ultimate analysis says the flower does not exist, it simply means the flower does not exist objectively. You getting it? So if the conventional analysis says flower does not exist, means flower does not exist. But if the ultimate analysis says the flower does not exist, it means flower does not exist objectively. Because flower exists, not exists is not decided by ultimate analysis. What is the area of ultimate analysis? To see whether the object exists objectively or not objectively. You getting it? So whereas the conventional analysis will not check if the flower exists objectively or not objectively. So the job of the conventional analysis is just to check if the flower exists or not. You getting it? So in the eyes of ultimate analysis, the flower is not there. It means what? In the eyes of ultimate analysis, if the flower is not there, flower is empty, what does it mean by that? Does it mean that flower doesn't exist? What does it mean then? Indrajit ji. How many agree with the Indrajit ji reasons? Okay, good. Good. So, but look at this now. Now, how does it appear to you? Objectively, how does it appear to you? Objectively real. You getting it? Okay, so how can you evaluate if this perception is valid or not? That the flower appears object real. How will we evaluate this? We subject this to see if this perception that the flower appears object real. Oh, what is in my hand appears as flower, right? Is it true or not? Is it really flower or not? So, which analysis will you employ to verify this? Conventional analysis, very good. Now, look at it, and this appears as objectively real. How will you evaluate if it does exist objectively or not? By subjecting the flower to ultimate analysis. So you're getting it? Okay, how does it appear to you? Tell me. Appearance level? Objectively real. Now, the reality is to be evaluated by ultimate analysis. Subjecting for ultimate analysis, what do you find of the flower? The flower is objectively empty. You're getting it? Flower is objectively empty. So, what the ultimate analysis discovered is the reality. What we have is the appearance. So, appearance-wise, there is the objectively existent flower appearing, or the flower appearing objectively, this appearance. And the reality established by the ultimate analysis is that the flower is empty of objective reality. Do you see a discrepancy between appearance and the reality? Huh? So what is the discrepancy? What discrepancy did you discover? On the appearance level, the flower appears as object real. On the what? In real sense, in reality, it is empty of. How do you know that's empty of objective reality? We have to that is decided by the ultimate analysis. How we can verify whether or not the flower exists objectively or not. We have to subject the flower. We have to check with the ultimate analysis. And the ultimate analysis, we see that the flower is empty. The flower is empty in the eyes of ultimate analysis doesn't mean that flower is non-existent. It simply means flower does not exist objectively. You're getting it? So we see that there's a discrepancy there between appearance and the reality. Okay. How many of you know what is illusion? Raise hands. How many of you know what is illusion? Raise hands. Okay. How many don't know what is illusion? Raise hands. Then what about those people who did not raise hands at all? What is this? Half? Okay. Raise hands those who half. Then what? Still there's another group of people who never raise hands. What is this? Okay. So which means that you know what is illusion, right? So it's a very boring question. I know this already. Why should I phrase this waste of time? This is what you thought. Okay, which means that you know what is illusion. Describe what is illusion. How do you describe illusion? Quick. Yes, over there. Something that's not real. Over there. The lady there. Yes, you, yes. Say it again. Okay, something you see, something exists, but it doesn't exist. This is illusion. Okay, for example, let's say that, okay, I think I have a watch in my pocket, right? There's no pocket, it's illusion. There's no watch, it's an illusion. I thought something is there, a watch is in my pocket, it's not there, it's an illusion. It's not illusion. You're getting it? So, what we're learning is that, your name? Galina. So, say, when you give me the answer, and I give you some counter feedback, so this also means that I'm challenging you. You're getting it? So, in a way, what is this? This is to identify the where you are, the answer that you give is correct, but how to mold it with the proper shape. In other words, articulation. You're getting it? We learn how to articulate your thoughts, articulate your words. Okay, what is illusion? Quick. Yes. Something which we create in the mind. I'm a Buddha. Is this illusion? It's not illusion. Right? I create in my mind. I'm not Buddha, but I create I'm a Buddha. Right? Okay. Somebody here raise your hand? Yes.
Illusion means something which we conventionally know it is not, it is imaginary.
I say it again. We know that it is imagined, it is not real. Okay. Are you sure?
Or is it deceptive?
This is, I'm a Buddha. This is deceptive, right? So is that illusion? Oh, I'm an illusion.
But by your understanding of
No. Am I illusion or not? Objective, I'm an illusion. Okay, interesting. Okay. So objective, you're illusion. Object, everything illusion. Yes.
you said that objectively everything resonates.
Yes.
So, is it the ultimate analysis that you are subjective to the flower or anyone? Isn't it subjective? Because we never ask the flower, is it objectively real?
Of course, I asked it. This is a whole the discussion last day.
You asked me, you didn't ask the flower. You asked me, you asked everybody.
Yes, I will. What? I have to ask the flower?
The analysis that we are subjecting to the flower,
Yes.
that we call
Ultimate analysis. Everything is subjective. Everything.
never know is it objectively real or
Who?
we might never know is it the flower, is it objectively real or
So what we said is that nothing exists objectively. We said it 100 times.
because our constraints of knowledge are within the atoms and protons that we have discovered over the maybe 2000 years ago. There was some way to know that I am me and you are you, and it is like that, or you might never know. Like, how do you assess that I'm I?
How do you tell me? How do I assess that I don't know? I know, I don't know. How do you assess that? Or how do I assess that we never know? You said you made the statement, you never know. You know that we never know. You are the one who knows that. You don't know that. So you don't know that who never knows. So why did you say nobody knows it? Why did you say this if you're not sure?
Because we haven't come to a
No, my question is, you said that nobody knows, right? And you know that nobody knows. This internal contradiction, you're getting it? So to say that nobody knows is very easy. That's very easy. But it's totally baseless. There are many people, even the very, say the prominent scientists, nobody knows about the mind. If the philosophers, how can you, just at the most you can say that I don't know. I don't know what mind is. There are many philosophers, many acclaimed the psychologists whose nobody can define mind. How do you know that nobody can define mind? Right? Did you see all the scriptures, all the amazing, the ancient books on the mind? Have you seen that? Those people who say that, we should ask this question. So therefore, when you say this statement, you are making a huge statement which you are unaware. Is so like saying that nobody can make statement and you're making a statement. Nobody can make statement. Right? I'm making a statement that nobody can make statement. It's like you know everything. This is a contradiction. Okay, what is illusion? Anyone? Yes.
Something
Okay, so now, your name? Mike.
Sorry.
Okay. There are two mics, so there's one mic. Micah? Your name? Micah. Okay, Micah. Okay, so what Mike said is like, say, the shaping, what we described, what most of us describe as illusion. He added the word, it appears. The object appears as something, but in reality it is different. So the word, the appearance is added, that gives the word, the articulation to the description of the illusion. Good. Anyone else? Okay, yes, Jimala.
When we know that the things are not real, but still, like, which appears us, for example, dreams and like real life. We know this, like, all are not real for us, but still, we like
That appears.
experience. So that's illusion. Yeah, like even dreams in real life.
Okay. So in other words, things appear in one way, but the reality is different.
Even we know like it's not real, still like we have to.
If you don't know, then what? It's not real, but if you don't know, then is it illusion or not? I see. Okay. So, are you scared of, some people, they do some prank on you? Never. Okay, please do something. Tonight, 3 or 4 boys with a knife go there, right? And see that.
If I can fight back, otherwise I will die.
Okay. So the illusion means that you have to know that it appears. You know that still it appears as differently, right? If you don't know, then what's the problem? You know all phenomena. You don't know you know everything, or you don't know. There are many things which you don't know. You don't know mathematics, right? Okay. Okay.
In the books, like there's some question. Somebody asked me, "What is the apple?" I don't know that. But if I saw the apple objectively, that's illusion. But not like
Okay. So Jimela, what you said is illusion, right? What you said is not true. No, what you said something. What you are describing illusion. Is that correct or is wrong?
it's depend on.
Okay, okay. For you, what you said is wrong. Because that is illusion. Because you know that is not correct. No, for you.
Like sounds.
Yeah, even the sound appears objectively real. Okay. Okay, good, Jamila. That's amazing. Okay. So still we are not, okay, yes, over there.
I just want to give an example of it.
Yes.
The optical illusion of, when a ship is in the sea, at the horizon, it looks like it is suspended in the air, but actually it's in the sea.
Uh.
It's on the sea surface, but it looks suspended in the air from the seashore. So it is kind of illusion.
Okay, good. So it's optical illusion. Optical illusion, right? Thank you. Very good. Sharipema. Ah. Deceptive appearance, like?
This which might be wrong, it's like different from the reality.
Okay, that is illusion. Okay, illusion. deceptive appearance. In a way, it's a very good way of putting it. Yeah, Pinzola.
Similar example to the fan. We don't have any
Yes.
circular
Yes.
actually there's three fans.
Only 3 blades. Okay, so that is not really circular, it's illusion. Very good. So what Mike said, what the Sheripama said, but in fact all of us we are saying, there's a discrepancy between appearance and the reality. Things appear in one way, but the reality is different. And sometimes it can be illusion. We may not discover it as illusion at that point. We may discover it as illusion later on. For example, what you see is a mirage. Actually, it is not. It's a mirage. It's not water. Initially, you see that as a water, which is illusion. Actually, but you don't know that it is illusion. You go closer, then you see that there's no water there. Then you conclude what I earlier saw was illusion. It was not real. So it was an illusion, but you can discover it later, not at the time when it is there. Okay, good. So from this, what we're saying is that illusion means, how many of you agree with me now? What Mike said, what the Sheripama said, what the Sawangezala said, what, and for all of us, most of us said it, that there's a discrepancy between appearance and reality. Things appear in one way and things exist in a different way. There's a discrepancy, this is known as illusion. How many agree with me? How many agree with them? Resents. Good. Now what we said is that, look, what is the illusion? Is what discrepancy between appearance and reality. Okay, now let's see. How does this, okay, now work on the appearance. How does this flower appear? Objectively real. Don't forget it, appearance. Now what's next? Reality. How do you evaluate the reality of this, whether it is objective or not? Subject the flower to ultimate analysis. Subject the flower to ultimate analysis, what will be discovered? We discover that the flower does not exist objectively. Now tell me, what is the appearance? The flower exists objectively. What is the reality? The flower is empty of objective reality. So, do you see a discrepancy between appearance and reality? Do you see a discrepancy between appearance and reality? Where there's a discrepancy between appearance and reality is known as illusion. So, is this illusion? Don't say this is illusion. This is illusion-like. Just as illusion is where there's a discrepancy between appearance and reality in the eyes of the ordinary people. You're getting it? Discrepancy between appearance and reality in the eyes of ordinary people is known as illusion. Now, in the eyes of the evolved beings meaning those who have extremely refined cognitive thinking, like Arya Nagarjuna, for them, this is seen as having a discrepancy between the appearance and reality. You're getting it? So just as illusion is what for the ordinary people, when there's a discrepancy in appearance and reality for the ordinary people, for the evolved beings, they see the discrepancy with all phenomena. So therefore, for the evolved beings, everything is like illusion. For ordinary people, we say that this flower is not illusion, right? But something drawn in such a way that it appears like a real flower. We call that as illusion, optical illusion, right? So ordinary people distinguish between what is illusion, non-illusion. And for the evolved beings, everything has a discrepancy between appearance and reality. So therefore we say that just for the ordinary people, illusion is something, there's a discrepancy between appearance and reality, which is described as illusion. For the Arya beings, everything has the discrepancy between appearance and reality. So therefore, for the Arya beings, everything is like illusion. Like illusion. So therefore,
well-being sees the discrepancy. So did they see the appearance of the objective flower, or they only sees the discrepancies?
They see everything. They see the flower, they see the flower's object real, they see the flower's empty object real, they see the discrepancy, they see all.
Simultaneously.
Not simultaneously, at different times. So, how many you know that you are in this hall? Raise hands. How many you know that you had your breakfast? Raise hands. Right? Are you thinking of these two simultaneously? No, at different times. There's no contradiction. You're getting it? It's not illusion, everything's illusion-like. Okay. So, for you, according to you, okay, let's all say when somebody asks a question, it's so important because oftentimes what somebody asks may reflect your own questions. You're getting it? Okay, he's asking something. So let me just wait till Geshé says something. Right? Don't have this attitude. Everything what others say is so precious. Right? Okay. So what he's asking is, if everything is illusion-like, what is this I? You're getting it? So, your name? Rashinam Yali. Do you get the impression that if everything is illusion-like, it means that nothing exists? If that's the case, then I should not exist. How do you define I? Is this your question? So this is what we can see behind. When he asks this question, you should know what he's asking. What's the behind the information? You're getting it? So once you know the behind the information, go back to the first two questions before you jump into emptiness. What are the first two questions? Don't smile. Don't smile. You're smiling. You know why he's smiling? Jump to the first two questions. First two questions before you jump into emptiness. Okay, if you become hesitant, you feel shy, ask Sapnaji. What are the two questions? Do things exist? What's the answer? Hey, everybody. Yes, Tashinam Jala, what's the answer? Does this person known as I exist? Answer should be yes. If you say no, nihilism. This is not emptiness. You're getting it? So emptiness should not be understood in the form of nihilism. So why I give this warning ahead of time is because that when we talk about emptiness, we are bound to fall into nihilism. You're getting it? Yet, no need to feel shy. No need to feel sad. This is how we have to go, right? All of us, we have been once a toddler. What do you mean by toddler? Hey, huh? How does a toddler walk? Huh? Crawls. And if they walk, what happens? 2 steps and fall. 2 steps and fall. You getting it? So with emptiness, we are bound to fall here, there, to the two extremes. We are bound to fall here and there. So this is how we have to practice. You getting it? So simply because you get the wrong answer doesn't mean that you should feel bad. This is how we have to grow. You getting it? Good. So the I does exist. Okay. How many say that there's no contradiction between accepting emptiness of I and the acceptance of the I? There's no contradiction. Raise hands. Okay. In a way, what he's saying is that the I does not exist objectively, but it does exist. If it does exist, how does it exist? Louder. Turn your face towards Tashinam Yala. And he's asked his questions, what is an I? Tell him that I exists subjectively, subjective existence I. That is I. Good. Okay. So with this we come to yes.
One question on Sonal's line about simultaneous view. So let's say, like swimming. When I didn't know swimming, I was drowning. But once I know how to float, it was impossible for me to drown. Like if I recognize something, it's very hard for me to go back to the previous view. So how
So if you know how to swim, then it's impossible for you to drown.
I mean, it's very difficult for me to, not float.
Are you sure? Then we'll throw you into Pacific Ocean. Do you know how to swim?
I know my point.
Do you know swimming?
Very little. I may drown, yes. But my point is basically whether once I know, like,
Do you know how to float in the water? Okay, we'll throw you into the Pacific Ocean. They will keep you there for a few days, right? And then you will not know how to not to float, right? You keep floating, don't worry. You may feel a little hungry, that's it. But you'll drown. You getting it?
bad example, Geshe. Like, let's say before I didn't know you were Geshe Dorji Damdul, okay? But once I know that you were Geshe Dorji Damdul, it's impossible for me to see you as a regular Lama.
Are you sure?
Yeah?
Are you sure? How old are you today? 30, right? Say, when you're 40, right? I come to you and you will not recognize me. You getting it? Okay, good. Okay. Now we have to finish 60 verses. You getting it? I know that you have many pressing questions. Okay. So for this, the point is that so there is the discrepancy between appearance and reality. Now for us, on the basis of appearance, right? On the basis of appearance, there's adherence coming. Adherence meaning a strong grasping comes with appearance. That the flower appears objectively real and you believe it is objectively real. You getting it? The flower appears objectively real and then, then you believe the flower to exist objectively. Say, you think of yourself, and how does this person appear to you? Object real, subject real. Objective real. And then with this appearance, then you believe. Okay, the two words. The object appears and your mind apprehends. Object appears, the flower is the object appears as object real to your mind. And the mind apprehends the flower as object real. The two words. So the play between the mind and the object. The play between the mind and the object appears, and then the mind apprehends the flower. And then if it becomes intense, we call it the mind grasp at the flower. You getting it? Okay. So now the point is that say object appears, the flower appears object real. This is not self-grasping ignorance. Don't forget it. That we make a fine distinction. The flower appears as object real. This is not self-grasping ignorance. What is the root of samsara? What is the root of miseries? Self-grasping ignorance. No, what is self-grasping ignorance? That the flower appears as object real, that is not self-grasping ignorance. What is self-grasping ignorance? Not only the flower appears as object real, and then you apprehend the flower. The mind apprehends the flower as object real. That is self-grasping ignorance. Okay, let's say that. Okay, say that you are the interviewer for a job. There is so people coming. The interviewees are coming, right? And one interviewee, they comes in the facade as extremely good in what? The particularly, let's say physics. You are the physics interviewer, we are the physics professor. And then this person knows, say, the Omar so well, right? Omar so well. And the person does not really know physics. Physics is so they're not really expert. And the person appears to the interview, and the interviewer asks the physics questions, and the person gives the impression so that person is so good in physics, so the topper in physics, right? And so you as the interviewer, the person appears as expert in physics. And then you ask Omar, don't know that Omar is a friend of mine, right? And then ask another Professor Omar, so how good is he in physics? No, yeah, he's very good, right? And then not only that, the person appears as very good in physics, you also believe that the person is good in physics. That's a problem. The real problem happens not by the appearance, but the apprehending. So, say that the flower appears object real, and then your mind believes that it exists objectively. The moment your mind believes in it, your mind apprehends the flower as object real. That is self-grasping ignorance. That is root of all the problems. Okay, let me give an example. How many had nightmares? Raise your hand. At least one time in your life. At least one time. Raise your hands. Okay. Say, when you have the nightmare, do you agree with me? I will share with you the process, how the nightmare happens. I'll give you the process. And you tell me whether you agree with me. The first, let's say you go to bed. Right? And then what happens is that your mind started to create the dream. Step one, your mind starts to create the dream. You agree? Although you're not aware that yes, this is a process happening, but this should be the process. Right? You agree? This should be the process. How many of you are aware of that you are dreaming now? Now the dream is coming. How many of you are aware of that? No one. That's interesting. Okay, I'll share something, my experience. How the dream, that used to be when I was in my 20s, now in 30s, 40s, 50s, that disappeared. In my 20s, just I lie down, I just think of my mind, just observe my mind. Observing my mind, what happens is that, observing my mind, then say sometimes, okay, to cut all the digression. I say different thoughts come to me, which means that you are not dreaming. The dream starts to come, what happens is that all these thoughts subside. Sleeping and dreaming, these two are different. I'm talking about the dream. These thoughts subside. And then a screen comes, white screen comes, very smooth screen comes. Okay. Then the screen. How many of you know the glossy and matte? How many of you know that? Huh? Okay, the gentleman behind Kapir, tell me what is the difference? Very good. Anyone else? That's correct explanation, but I like still more. Anyone else? What's the mat like? Okay, Kabirji? Yes. Mat is little core, little rough there. This is mat. You getting it? Good. So first is a glossy, not really glowing. I just use the word glossy, but smooth, let's say. Very smooth surface. And then the next moment, this smoothness will transform into like the mat. A little rough surface, still white. And then this rough from the rough surface, rough means what? Say even, and there's some protrusions coming out, right? Some protrusions coming out in a very, say the word, not obvious form, but little protrusion come out. And these protrusions become more and more prominent. They take the form of the nose. Some of them take the form of the ears. Some of them take the form of the eyes. Right? And still keep observing it. And then it's still not a full-fledged face. And then this mouth starts to talk to you. Right? Still observing. Be mindful of the I just should not go into this sleep. I should just keep observing it. And this mouth with the eyes, the ear still not fully formed, start talking to you. Hey Dorji, what are you doing? Right? And you say, don't respond. Just keep observing it. And then the face becomes more, every time the face becomes more and more prominent and starts to talk more and more, right? And sometimes it can even provoke you when you don't respond, right? What a stupid thing that you're doing. You don't know even, you don't want to talk to me, right? And then gradually you also become a little emotional, become agitated. Then as you reply, the moment you give a reply, you dip into dream. Okay, this is a process. I'm not sure if it's applicable to everyone, but this is what happened to me. You're getting it? This is a formation dream. So let's say that you fall asleep, even though you do not know all these processes, it doesn't matter. So you fall asleep, and then so this must be happening, although you may not be aware of, but how many of you are happy to say that this must be happening? You fall asleep and your mind projects things, projects the dream. First step. Second step, because you project things there, these things in dream flower, dream chocolate, dream ghost and so forth, they appear as real. Step number 2, they appear. Then, number 3, your mind believes that dream is real. Number 3. Then number 4, because you believe, then the object in the dream, they start to affect. They start to provoke you or affect. Number 4. Number 5, when it affects you, then you react, right? Then you react. That is karma, right? Can you imagine that? Okay, this process must be happening. In a sense, although you're not aware that this is how it is, but it must be happening. Number 1, that you create the dream. Number 2, the dream appears as real. Number 3, your mind believes them to be real. Okay, the one step which I would add, number 1, your mind projects the dream. Number 2, you are unaware that you are projecting it. This is one thing that I'd like to add. Number 1, your mind projects the dream. Number 2, that you are unaware that you are projecting the dream. Because you are unaware that it's your projection, you see it as real. That appears as real. Number 4, that appears real, and then you assent to this. You believe it is real. You apprehend it as real. Then number 5, because you apprehend it as real, then the object affects you. Then number 6, then you react. Because the object affects you, you react. Object scares you, and then you react. Either you run away, or you jump. Right? Okay. In fact, so these are the first time I heard about this was shared by one philosopher or psychologist, I'm not too sure. I was just 20 or 21 years old. And there was one lady who shared this anecdote to a group where I was a part of. She said that a lady was sleeping in the house, and suddenly from the window a big man came, right? And she was so scared. Okay, just imagine that you are that lady. She was so scared, and the big man said, "Hey, now you have created me. Now what should I do?" You're getting it? It's a dream actually. Right? She created. Now the big man asking, "What should I do? You created me. What should I do?" Right? So, failing to see that as your creation, then very scary. So this gives this beautiful articulation of that it is your mental creation, that you are unaware that you have created this. When you're unaware that you have created this, you believe it is real. It appears object real. You getting it? What's the process? Number one, you create the mind creates the dream. Number two, you are unaware that you have created this dream. Number three, therefore the object appears as real to you. Number four, it appears real and then you believe it is real. Number four. Number five,
It has an effect.
so the object affects on you. Then number six, then you read. Okay, this is samsara. You're getting it? Okay. So this is how it works. And likewise, okay, there's another very popular story that a king out of fantasy, out of his passion, he hired the best of the painters in his kingdom and said that, okay, this is your room, you do a painting, and then the painter, really extremely brilliant painter, he painted, and then after completion of the painting, the king was so happy, he rewarded the painter with gold, whatever, and the painter left. After a few years, again the king wanted another painting. Okay, Piali is so good in painting. Dalai, amazing, she has amazing hands. Okay, I have her paintings. Then the king, after a few years, he was so keen to have another painting. He invited the same painter and said that, you remember that hall where you did the painting last time? That is your place. Go there and you make some painting of the landscape, whatever. He went there, the painter went there, and the painter came out screaming, and then left the palace. And the king checked, what happened? There was a ghost there in your house. And the king said, no, there's no ghost there. And the king sent the ministers to check what is there. It was his own painting. It was his own painting of ghost. He painted a ghost there, right? And it was so real that he forgot that he painted a ghost, right? He went there and that ghost which he painted scared him. He ran away. You're getting it? This is how all the conventional phenomena, while they're projected by own mind, they're painted by own mind, but we forgot that this is our painting, and then they scare us. Then they create tears in our ear, the tears to our eyes. Create all this fear and tears in our eyes. You're getting it? Okay. So this is so important. If we realize this, and you get a glimpse of emptiness to see that they're all projected by own mind, yet it doesn't say that nothing exists. Everything exists. The fact that everything exists is because of my mental projection. Good things, happiness follow. Bad things, the pains follow. Even this law is what my mind projects. Everything is projected by my mind. Right? So with this, what is so important is make a distinction between illusion-like and illusion. You getting it? Illusion has a connotation of nihilism. Illusion-like is not illusion. Illusion-like has a connotation of efficacy of the infallible cause and effect, efficacy of the infallible functionality. Let me say, infallible functionality is present with the illusion-like. With the illusion, it is nihilism. Okay. So, how do you distinguish between the illusion and the illusion-like? Not that everything is illusion, everything is illusion-like. How do you distinguish the two? What is illusion-like and what is illusion? Anyone? Quick. Anyone? illusion-like and illusion. How do you distinguish the two? This is so important. Yes, Pinzola.
Illusion like when there is a distinction between appearance and reality.
And illusion also has a discrepancy between appearance and reality, right? You agree or not agree? Illusion and illusion-like both have the element of discrepancy between appearance and reality. So this is what is shaped in the two.
When we subject analysis and conventional analysis.
When subject to ultimate analysis, both do not exist. Kabir? In the illusion, cause and effect is disrupted. There's no cause and effect operating. Law of cause and effect does not hold true in the illusion. Illusion like?
For example, a cup, its appearance may be that it's like, at appearance level, it can be objectively real. And I can also engage with it. I can hold the cup, I can put something into it. But while it is when subject to ultimate analysis,
Okay, there's the, don't go too much, right? If you go too much, then it will dilute, right? So what Kabir just said is very good. Say, both share the nature of the having discrepancy between the appearance and reality, both illusion and illusion-like. But the difference is that in case of illusion, cause and effect is not the law of cause and effect does not operate. It does not hold true. For the illusion-like, there is a law of cause and effect operates. The law of cause and the illusion-like is determined by the law of cause and effect. There's a law of cause and effect operating there. For example, if you study well, then you will pass. If you don't study well, if you go to the pubs all the time, waste your time, PlayStation game all the time, you will never pass, right? There's the efficacy there. There's infallible cause and effect, infallible functionality there. That holds true in illusion-like, which is not in the illusion. Okay. I'd like to share one thing. It's very interesting. Okay. There was, I must be in my early 30s when I was about to sit for Geshé degree in Damdul monastery. And of course the juniors will come to, junior monks will come to, ask, oh, what is this, what is this? So we explain. And then, okay, everything is like illusion. But it's not illusion, everything's illusion-like, not illusion. How do you distinguish whether I'm sleeping or I'm still awake? How do I distinguish the two? You getting it? How many had this question? Am I waking? Am I in a waking state or I'm dreaming? How many had this question? Raise hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. So what did you do? How do you evaluate? Really tell me. How do you evaluate when this question comes to you? That am I dreaming or am I in a waking state? How do you evaluate? Okay, you to see if there's some degree of control. Good. Anyone else? Yes.
bring myself and check surrounding and the breathing.
Say it again, check the surrounding and?
Check surrounding and check my breathing.
Okay, check my breathing. Am I breathing? Yes, am I breathing? Then this is real. Right. Okay, so when you're asleep, you dream of yourself as breathing. In your dream, you don't dream yourself as breathing. Oh, I see. That's interesting. This is very strange. Right? So nobody dreamt of that, oh, I'm breathing. Right? Oh, I'm not breathing. Huh? So you can't, nobody's allowed to dream of breathing. But this is how you checked. This is how you checked. It may be how you check, how you try to evaluate. It may be valid, may not be valid. You getting it? But see, this is how he checked. Perfect. Anyone else? How do you check? Yes. How?
It doesn't mean that I have to stab my gun.
Okay. So okay. Please don't keep the knife up close by him. He may check if I'm dreaming or not. Right? Please don't keep knife around him. Right? Please. Who's your roommate? Huh? All these, all the boys were his roommate.
I think you meant conventionally we use the word, we pinch ourselves. We use the word.
No, he said it here. I did not say this. He said, I stab. This is what is. No. I asked, how do you evaluate? People have different ways of evaluation, right? So all the roommates, please keep track of him, right? In the dream is fine. Once you fall asleep, then you can go to bed. Till that point, he may check, right? Am I dreaming, right? So make sure that no knife. Okay, anybody else? Hey, here. Yes. Your name again? Bian, yes. Bilan or Bian? How do you spell it? Mian. Tell me, how do you evaluate? Okay. So in the dream, the history of life cannot come back. Okay, so in the dream you could not remember your past. It never happened. Okay, by the way, this is her way of evaluation. Okay, yes.
Once in dream I did it, at the moment I realized that this is a dream, then I woke up. But in reality, I asked this question that if it is a dream and I'm aware that it's a dream, I usually wake up. But in reality, if I ask this question that am I dreaming and I don't wake up, then I feel, okay, this is not a dream.
Did it ever happen to you that a question came to you, am I dreaming or is it real? This question, did it ever come to you?
Yes, it did, but while I was dreaming.
Not in the waking state. How many had this question when you were in a waking state? Okay, in the waking state, when you're not dreaming, you had this question, am I dreaming or is it real? Resents. Tell me. So how do you evaluate? Pinch yourself. Then it's real. How many of you would say that this is a good way of evaluation? 1, 2, 3. How many said no? It doesn't mean anything. Resents. 1, 2. Okay. Why it doesn't mean anything? Why? Why not? Why not? Why not?
Pinch yourself when you dream.
In the dream also you can pinch yourself and you can feel the hurt in the dream. You can. You pinch yourself and you can feel the hurt. And I have many stories to share.
For me, I try to check if it makes sense or not. Like what I'm dreaming. If it's because sometimes I dream in my dream.
No, in the waking state. In the waking state, you ever the question. How many had this question in the waking state? Okay, so how do you evaluate this? The gentleman of the nurse.
You don't evaluate, it's pointless.
Okay, it's pointless. Don't evaluate, right? Huh? Take coffee and enjoy, right? No, then it's just pointless. It's pointless to ask the question, am I dreaming or not? Right? You never asked it. No, why did you ask? It's pointless. All right. Okay, so The first question is: Did you have this question in the waking state? How do you evaluate it?
Actually, it just stays just for a while, like for some seconds, and then it naturally disappears. And I know it's not dreaming.
At the moment, are you dreaming or not?
Yeah, at the moment. But
At the moment, are you dreaming or not?
at this moment,
Yes. Why not? How do you know?
I know that I'm here and I'm not dreaming.
How do you know that?
I'm listening to what you're saying.
The same answer you will give in the dream also. It doesn't mean anything. Simply because you think that you are listening to me doesn't mean that you are in the waking state. Over there.
I check my mobile. If all these problems come,
Say it again. I check the mobile. And if all the problems come,
yes, I understand. Oh, yes, that's my reality.
okay. So did you ever, you never dreamed of checking your mobile and see all the problems? Never. Never. Okay, lucky. Right? Okay, this is the a very complicated point. Okay, the point is that the yes.
I just want to share my experience about not only for the journey, like what makes me almost I forget. So I feel like when we wake up in the morning, so it's waking up for this dream, and when we sleep, it's time to waking up for the night dream.
The night dream. Then you wake up, you go for the daydream. Switch between the two dreams. That's very true.
But in a dream, we have a more power. Like we have
Because in the night dream,
night dream.
you have more power.
Like yeah, we can
Fly.
fly, we can do so many things. But in dream, we have to follow them laws. And we have to obey the teachers. And there's rules and regulations. If I'm hungry, I cannot eat now. But in a dream, we have more power. We can dance, we can fly, we can do different things.
That's amazing. Over there. So now we discovered that he doesn't want to follow rules. No, he doesn't want to follow rules, right? So he want to actually, in a way, complain to Ajiriji. Say he want to eat something, he should be, he cannot eat here. Go to the kitchen, right? So it's a complaint, right? Implicit complaint. Okay. Okay, did you all, your name? Did you all follow what Raj is saying? This is a huge question. You're getting it? And if you don't understand this question, it's a big blessing in disguise. Right? Or you can say, ignorance bliss. Getting it? Because this huge question can be very disturbing. And most likely I would say that this question will be resolved when you understand emptiness. If this question really bothers you. This question was bothering, same question by Raj, this was bothering me since I was in my 20s. Huge, big question bothering me all the time. In daytime, nighttime, this question bothered me. And this will be resolved only if you get emptiness. If you don't get it, nobody can give answer to this question. I'm saying this nobody. Because I asked this question to many people, many seniors, philosophers, logicians, psychologists. I asked this question. Nobody can give a satisfactory answer to this question. Huh? What's the question, Raj?
We have no way of knowing whether right now in this classroom we are talking or we are dreaming.
That's the question. Did you follow the question? So I asked this question to someone. I asked this question: are you dreaming now? Yes. Someone gets up. I asked, how do you know that this is? Are you sure that this is the waking state? He said yes. Then I asked, how do you know? You're getting it? And then so this is the question which Raj is asking. How do you know? Let us, before we say that there's no way by which to distinguish between what is a waking state and what is a dream state. Before we say there's no way, let us be a little more what? Open to say that how do you evaluate that what we are going through now is a waking state and not a dream? How do you evaluate that? Then, Raj, you can ask this question to so many people, particularly people who are thinking on this matter. Then you may get some kind of conclusion that nobody can give the answer. Then you can say there's no way by which we can make a distinction between what is dream and what is waking state. This is a huge question. Good. Okay. So with this, let me conclude by saying what we discuss is so precious. What we discussed, let me conclude this and then we'll go through the text. What we said is that this appearance is on the basis of how the object appears to a mind. And when you look at it, it appears as, things appear as object real. And then we also, how do we know that whether or not this flower actually exists objectively? How do you evaluate? Subject this to ultimate analysis. Don't subject this to conventional analysis, right? Don't ask you generic questions to Albert Einstein or to Messi, right? Because they are not from this area. So, to see that this flower is objectively real or not, don't ask the conventional analysis. Ask this to ultimate analysis. Subjecting the flower to ultimate analysis, what will the ultimate analysis find? Will be amazed to see that the flower does not exist in the eyes of ultimate analysis, which means the flower does not exist objectively. So from this we discover one thing, the discrepancy between appearance and the reality. Appearance-wise, the flower appears as object real, and the reality is, it is empty of objectively real. There's a discrepancy of appearance real. Now look, with appearance, the problem is that appearance per se is not a huge problem. In a way, it is the worst of the problem. It's the worst of the problem. But because that this appearance, the flower is object real, this worst problem is because that did stop us from attaining Buddhahood. This stopped us from attaining the infinite happiness. Whereas for us, the immediate problem is what? The immediate problem is, what is the immediate problem? Tears. We have to shed tears, pains. Somebody says, what a hopeless student. So during the group discussion, somebody asks you, the question that you asked in class is just waste of our time, right? Then you feel so hurt. The pain, right, is so painful. And then the loss of near and dear ones is so painful. All these having to shed tears is because of believing that this flower exists objectively, believing that the self exists objectively, believing that things exist objectively. That brings all the tears in our life. So we see that with this appearance, then the belief that the object exists objectively, it comes to us. And this belief is this self-grasping ignorance. This self-grasping ignorance is the one which attracts all the fears in our life. Okay, so if you don't want to have the fears, stop this belief. How to stop this belief? Hey, how to stop this belief? How to stop this belief? We have to know that this flower does not exist objectively. How can we know that? By subjecting flower to ultimate analysis. Look, this is so beautiful, this amazing philosophy. It's not just a dry philosophy. For example, if you read, how many of you read David Hume's philosophy? Raise hands. David Hume's philosophy. Okay, you read David Hume's philosophy, very popular. Read David Hume's philosophy. So it just rejects. This is not possible, this is not possible, rejects, and then what's the purpose? It's just to know some facts, that's it. David Hume. Right? And his philosophy very complicated, very profound though, but it's totally meaningless. But when I was in Cambridge, I met a very, very senior, respected the philosopher, Western philosopher. It so happened, it's very interesting. I was going from my college to the language, the school, on the bus. Every time I used to see one lady there. And I was in my 30s. The lady must be in her 60s. And the British, have you how many Britishers with hands? 1, 2, 3, right? And there, right? So they don't talk, right? Only if you know each other, otherwise they will not talk easily, right? So you are on the same bus for all these several months, still you don't talk to each other. What happened was that I was sitting on the chair on the bus. One day, unexpectedly, this lady who was always on the same bus sat right next to me, which is very unconventional, right? Which means I also started to become a Britisher. And then she said, "Are you Geshé, Dorji, Damdul?" I was taken aback. Yes. Then she said that my husband wants to invite you. Okay. Who's your husband? My husband is a philosopher, a professor of philosophy in the Cambridge University. He wants to meet you. We like to invite you for a high tea with us. So we'll communicate. I said, okay. Then finally the day came. I was invited there, and then the husband was just amazing. He must be already in his 70s. I was just in my 30s. And just the demeanor is just so impressive, so kind, gentle, down to earth. And then we were discussing about some philosophy. And I asked him, I could sense that he's a very senior, the philosophy professor. I asked him, if I were to start reading about Western philosophy, which book should I read? He said, David Hume. And then then he said that you are part of Cambridge University. You can have access to the philosophy, all the philosophy books in Cambridge University. And then he gave me an address saying that you can go online also. All this philosophy encyclopedia, whole encyclopedia of Cambridge is available for the Cambridge, the faculties, and you are a part of it. So you can have access to this. And then I said, just tell me one book for David Hume. He gave the understanding, human understanding. Then, in those days, going online, it was not really, it was like 20 years ago. So I said, we're going to buy the book. So he gave me the suggestion. And finally, he took me upstairs, where the whole set of, I think, 23 volumes are there, encyclopedia of the Western philosophy. And these are the books in Cambridge. I looked at it, and every book there is one name coming there, and it's his name. He was the chief editor of all these encyclopedia of the Cambridge, the encyclopedia of philosophy of the Cambridge University. And he did not tell me that he's that big. And it's you, he said. Yeah. I was so impressed. Wow, what an honor that he invited me. And then finally, he said that I'll give you my own copy of David Hume's book. So he gave me this book. Oh, it's so precious for me. So kind. So, and why did I say this?
You want to wrap up? She asked a question.
Ah.
Who is David Hume? You said which book? And then he said I read the book, title and then association.
Yes, very complicated, very complicated, very complicated. You really need to have a brilliant. If you don't really study philosophy deeply, you will not understand David Hume's philosophy. It's really profound. But the application of in what way it helps you in your real life to improvise yourself, to become more compassionate, and to become more wise, to manage the society, so forth. Totally irrelevant from my point of view. Totally irrelevant. Okay, so whereas this philosophy is very different. So when you study this philosophy, and then it has everything to do with managing your emotions. And then fun to see that you can really transcend your emotions. You can go to a very different realm of the reality, where you can see everything like a small children's game. And even if they say the small children's game, if the king, or Mr. Your Highness King, even if somebody disrespects him, for the mother, it's just small child's game. But for children, they're affected by the emotions. Yes, in the game, children, they're affected. When somebody, as if she has the tax minister, right? If somebody doesn't pay respect to her, then she'll be affected. She'll feel offended. But for a mother, no, this is just small children's game. So this is where you'll be uplifted to the next level, where you see everything like a small children's game, and all your tears, emotions, to give rise to tears will stop. So it's incredibly precious. Okay. Tea break till 11:30 or 10:30?
10:30 to 11:30 is tea. 10:30 to
11:30 is tea break, and then 11:30 to 12:30 is? Okay, we'll stop here. Yata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Atyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhisvatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Samgate Bodhisvaha. Three precisions together.